into COVID-19 and health. Now, Tamika is a person that I have grown to really, really be fond of and hold you dear to my heart. You've helped us with our personal situations. And I really wanted to do this, since we linked up. It's crazy because my wife heard about you 2 years ago and we're just getting to this point, and she's been communicating back with you that whole time, but it's, nothing happens before it's time, and I'm glad to be doing this. And I want to ask you first, just to introduce our audience, what is it that you specialize in, and what drives you to do what you're doing? A little bit of backstory and, getting into what you do now.
Okay, so my story, my son was born with a fatal blood disease back in 2008. So that is what changed my entire outlook, my entire outlook on the medical field, because they were literally killing my son, just killing my kid, because we're in the hospital every 2 months at the hand of doctors. But you're supposed to be the people to tell us what to do, but we just keep being sick. And what's happening is, oh, look at me. Okay, there I go, starting. Anyway,
No, I'm
so that's
listening. I'm listening.
had I kept on listening to these people, my son would be dead today. Seriously, he would be dead, just like all the other people going to the doctor, still suffering from sickle cell. He would be dead. So it took my son going to the hospital every 2 months to wake me up. And so after that entire year of going through crises and blood transfusions is when I said, okay, I'm done. Obviously, they don't know what they're doing. So I'm done. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I just knew that I couldn't keep going down the same path, because if we do the same things over and over again, we're gonna get the same results. And and and
Right.
and that's when I said, okay, Lord, been killing us for years. So let me get with the herbs, change our food, give my son, herbs to help the body produce red blood cells. And that's what I did. And 3 years went by, no crises.
Hmm.
And then I said, these jokers, these clown doctors could have been doing this all this time, but I mean, we know the pharmaceutical is nothing but a money maker, right? They make billions of dollars.
Pills and procedures. That's all they
Yeah,
focus on is
while we
pills and
keep suffering.
procedures.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So that's pretty much what led me. And after that, I wrote my first book called Sickle Cell Natural Healing: A Mother's Journey. And
Where can
then
they get that?
actually, it's on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, and then later I did write a second book called Healing from God's Medicine Cabinet, and so that one was more to just hold on one second.
Yep.
Okay, I kind of knocked some things over here, but yeah, so that one was more of to just kind of wake people up, because this is about everything that we've been lied about: toothpaste, from mammograms to the crops to the food. I mean, just everything that we've been lied about that's in this book. Just trying to wake people up.
Mm-hmm.
And so what has driven me to be this herbalist I am today is the Lord gave me a son with a fatal blood disease. And I didn't know that I was gonna be, an expert at sickle cell naturally, but God has given me the knowledge to reverse anything. Cancer, stage 4 cancer, liver disease, Lyme disease, hepatitis B,
Mm.
hepatitis C, liver disease, hypertension, diabetes, all of it. I mean, it's just amazing that we have everything we need. We just never been taught how to use it and what to take.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100%. And, a lot of times it's good to get that help from people, because my thing is, a lot of times when you go on this journey, what happens is you kind of in the beginning find yourself by yourself, and
Yes.
that's the hardest part, because
Yes.
something is wrong, then you figure out something is working, and then you try to bring people on and let them know, hey, I did this and this seems to be working for me, but sometimes they don't grasp it. Let me ask you, when you deal with that initial resistance in the beginning, how do you process that, knowing in your heart you want to help these people, and sometimes you push back on it, but it doesn't have the effect intended for it to have. The recipient is not receiving the information the way that you intended for. How do you deal with that? Do you say, you know what? You'll come around when you come around. I got to move on and do this over here. Or do you push back on it? Because when you push back on it, it's from a place of caring, but sometimes the recipient doesn't see it that way. So, and I know you've dealt with it.
But you know what? You would be surprised. Majority of the people listens to me. Majority, seriously.
That is awesome.
I may get a few pushbacks, but honestly, majority of people that come to me, they listen. Now, the people that I do get that push back, goodbye. Whenever you wake up, then you will come back. I don't have time.
You don't even waste any time on it. You just keep it moving, right?
Keep it moving. Yep. I shake the dust from this foot and I go on to the next person.
And the thing is, doing that, it actually helps you. You know what I mean? It actually helps with your sanity, because sometimes you get so stressed and then you realize you're so caught up in a situation, and then you have everyone looking at you like you're crazy.
Oh, well, you know what now? Now, not until COVID. COVID, I will say now, that's when people looking at me crazy. The COVID stuff.
Gotcha.
But things before COVID, people, I mean, they may have their own opinions. I'm going to use hydroxyurea. I mean, I can tell you I've changed. Now, when I used to work with Healing Blends Global, you got to be politically correct. You got to say things right. You can't stop your hydroxyurea. You can keep taking your hydroxyurea along with Evenflow. Sir, I don't say that mess no more. Stop taking this crap, this poison. This is nothing but a cancer medication. Stop. Right. It's not, I mean, I'll just go ahead and tell the truth. I don't sugarcoat. I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I'm not going to say consult your doctor. I'm not saying that, because see, all that stuff is, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know you can go to jail. You got to watch what you say. Like, Dr. Sebi, right?
You got to be very careful.
Yeah. I'm not going to go on CNN and say, I cured cancer. I'm never going to say that. I'm never going to their platform anyway. I'm done with their platforms, all of it. I just, as you know, they have shut down all my Facebook pages.
That's crazy. But you know what? Are you surprised though?
No, I'm not.
Are you surprised? Because at the current landscape and where we are now, you see what they're doing. It's like, eventually it's going to come. They want a certain narrative to be pushed through, and they will stop at any means. The only difference is now they're not hiding it. They're putting it right in front of you. And it gets to the point where some people really get frustrated by it. And, I've seen a lot of people give up this fight. And that's when, when we linked up with you, I was like, man, you're very passionate about what it is you're doing. And I want to see if we can do anything to help, because we're on that same page as far as, figuring out this thing as far as health is concerned, finances, you name it, everything pertaining to taking care of yourself. And that looks different for everyone. That's why I've never been someone to promote the whole, whether it's the flu shot, because I can't even tell you the last time I got a flu shot. I think we were in the 1990s. The last time I got one. Ask me the last time I got the flu. I can't tell you. Maybe early 2000s, but when you get control of your health, is one of those things. Once you get a piece of it, you never want to let it go, but you don't realize you're missing it if you've never had that experience. And that was me. I thought certain things were normal. I thought certain pains were normal as you age. As you reach a certain age, you just feel that pain. And it's not like that. When my health issues started the only thing with me now that I'm dealing with, and that's why we had our consultations, was the stress. The stress is the driver for everything. But now with what I'm doing, thanks to your recommendations, things are changing and things are getting better. And, the outlook starts to change, but sometimes you need that boost. And it's things that I've known, but sometimes, like, even here at my school, I'm a trainer, but a trainer needs a trainer. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're never above being coached.
Exactly.
And that's what I realized. And it's really helped with everything. Now, I want to see how we can get this message further and keep going. But I also wanted to ask you too, What are your thoughts on this current landscape as it pertains to COVID-19? As it pertains, we're going to talk about everything from the vaccine that they put out that they're pushing like crazy, to the death rates, how it affects you, you name it. Where do you want to start from there? Because we can start anywhere pertaining to that.
Uh, we can just start with Bill Gates saying to the world 2 years ago, or however long ago it was, that the US is going to, a virus is going to hit the US. It's going to kill 30 million people, and the US is not ready for it. So he made this statement way, way before COVID ever came. And so just getting people to even know that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we're just so brainwashed, we're so hypnotized by these people. We just believe every single thing that they say. But we never really sit down to think, okay, this man said this 2 years ago. How would he even know that? He's not psychic, he's not God. He's just a human, just like us. He has no special powers. So the only way he would know that if he is bringing it here.
Mm, that is true. That is
Yeah.
true. Now, how as far as resolution, what do we do for that? Because there's so many, like I said, you want to help people, you want to make sure that they're all right. But some people don't necessarily want the help. And with what you're seeing going on now, let me tell you, I know a few people actually, personally, that have gotten the vaccine and have gotten COVID. And what they were told was, because they got the vaccine, that is what saved them, despite them having COVID. What are your thoughts on that?
Then my thoughts would say, what about the 5,800 people that got the COVID vaccine
Mm,
and they all got COVID? All of them. They all
mm.
got COVID. Some of them died, so it's like, and then what about all the thousands of people that got the vaccine and now they're dead? It's like they can't say anything to me as long as they're still slaughtering and murdering people. They are murdering people, is what they're doing. They're murderers.
I agree.
And they have us thinking, oh, if 100,000 people died from the vaccine, that's okay because 300,000 people live. But these 300,000 people, they got autoimmune disease, they got cancer. It's crazy. It makes no sense whatsoever. But
I
if
agree
my if
with
my
you.
but if my probiotic killed one person, they're gonna put me up under the jail. But these people get to kill millions of people every year, and they never go to jail. It is so inhumane,
I agree. I agree 100%. And they get away with it. And then
and get away with it.
someone like you who's using natural means to combat all of these issues that we have, because you don't have on that white coat and have this paper that says you are this,
Yeah.
or you practice this type of medicine. Or here's the thing, that word practice, that
Yes.
bothers me as well. It's like,
I know.
if you still in practice, you don't need to be in the field. You
Right.
you practice beforehand, get it right, and then you go into the field and do what you do. But um, this whole mask thing, what are your thoughts on that?
Crazy.
Crazy.
People that cover their nose for another year gonna be dead too, because you're gonna be in hypoxia. You ain't gonna have no oxygen. You're not gonna have anything. And like I say, we just believe whatever if they say that COVID is seeping into the house, wear the mask inside the house 24/7, the people they'll just do that too. You
Mm,
know, if Dr. Sabi was here today, he would tell everybody, has y'all lost y'all mind? Don't you know oxygen is a driving force of life? We can't cut our oxygen off. I mean, they're asking people to cut off their oxygen every single day, working out in a mask, jogging in a mask. I mean, it's crazy. You're breathing down your same carbon dioxide. You're not getting any fresh oxygen. Anytime you breathe in, you're breathing in nitric oxide. Nitric oxide keeps us alive. That's life. So everything they're saying is killing us. It's just
it is true. It is true. And the crazy thing is, you look at it like this: they close parks and gyms during this whole pandemic. The things that actually, you need to hold on to a little bit of that sanity, because think about it. If you're in a box all day, they tell you to quarantine, you have to stay in these four walls all day. You're not getting any sunshine. You're not there were at some countries they were saying you cannot come outside. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. You can't come outside
Did they
just
ever
to
say
get
that
that
for
fresh
Washington
air.
State? Did they ever say that? I don't care what they say up here. Until I get arrested, I'm gonna go on and live my life the way I live it. And every time I do go out and the mask is down here, I never cover my nose ever. And if they got something to say, I say I have an underlying condition. And for the most part, they'll say okay. Or if they say get out, I'll gladly get out. But they better be glad I'll be serving some papers.
Well, that's the thing. Like I respect their rules when it comes
Yeah.
down to, their business and how they want to conduct it and stuff like that. Like I'm not going to be protesting in front of
Oh
someone's
yeah.
building because they
Right,
don't let
right.
me in. But
Exactly.
on the same note, I want to be able to exercise my right to
Thank
do
you.
what it is I want to do, especially if I'm doing the right things. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
it's crazy because when you look at it now, we're not in the worst stages of the pandemic now. It seems like we're kind of coming out of it, but why is it they're still pushing for the mask, double mask, and they're pushing everyone to get this vaccine? Like everything is still being pushed right now. Although when you look at the death rates of the virus, they are much lower than the flu.
Listen, they are going to manipulate, lie about the numbers. They're going to keep lying. This whole thing is a whole lie. Everything's a lie. The numbers are a lie. The statistics are a lie. Everything's a lie. So they're going to keep lying, keep scaring people because their only goal is to get everybody vaccinated. That's all they care about. It's not about Corona. Okay, they brought Corona here. They took away and blocked all the drugs that can help the people. So you say, what can we do? Okay, the situation they put us in, all the people in the world, they don't know how to heal because they never taught the people how to heal naturally. The drugs that could help, like the hydrochloroquine and AC, know all the drugs that can help that the government blocked. They
What's going
blocked
on,
the
AC? You there?
Hi, I'm here. I'm listening. Hi,
Just
Devar. Nice
listening.
to meet
Okay,
you.
okay. I'm just checking. I'm
Patiently,
just.
well, I could. Well, you guys were talking. I was going to patiently wait my turn.
But yeah, she knows a lot. I'm gonna tell y'all. We're gonna
Yeah.
tell y'all why they doing this. We're gonna tell you because we know exactly why they're doing it. Exactly.
hmm
You know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AC.
I was going to say, like, especially with the mask mandate, it's sort of like it reminds me of old world Germany with the whole yellow star, where they had, the people that um, didn't wear their mask, they had to put this yellow star in their clothing. And
Mm.
it's just crazy because I don't know how it is in Florida. I mean, you guys are under different leadership with your governor. He's much more into bodily autonomy, and you need to make the right decision for your household. I think out west too, on the left coast with Tamika, I think things are much more relaxed. But in the Northeast, it's been very, very, very restrictive. And under our governor in New York, the governor of New York, Cuomo, works with the governor in New Jersey, here where I am. So we've been under like lockdown for the better part of since April of last year. So in terms of like anything other than like the grocery store,
Mhm.
ironically they had the alcohol and liquor stores were considered essential,
Mhm.
but churches were closed. Restaurants just got to 35% capacity in February. So to me, with the mask wearing, it's about compliance. And I think it's just a test to see just how far they can take things, how willingly people fall into line
Yep.
and don't question. And it's just unfortunate that when they test you, so remember when this first started, they were saying it lives on surfaces, wipe down your groceries, this and that. And then they're like, well, no, that doesn't matter. And masks, we don't need to wear masks. And then, yeah, we do need to wear masks. But I think in time, the numbers will play out when folks have more bacterial pneumonia, have a lot of respiratory issues. it's just a vicious cycle. But at the end of the day,
But the
it's
thing is, they're
about
gonna say, I'm sorry to cut you. I'm sorry to cut you. But the thing is, they're gonna say that the respiratory issues are due to COVID-19 because that's part of what they say the issue was with COVID-19. It attacks the respiratory system, but you're attacking the respiratory system when you're wearing that mask.
exactly.
So
But they're going
they
to
kind
tell
of covered
you,
their tracks there. You
Yeah.
see what I
right,
mean?
right, right. They're going to tell you that the mask prevents, the spread and the transmission, and there's no scientific evidence to show that the mask decreases oxygen. I have this conversation all the time. Well, this fight, I should say, with my pulmonologist because I had talked to Tamika, and thank God for her suggestion because my little guy has sickle cell SS, and he goes to private school. And so I had written as part of his attendance, I said he literally cannot wear the mask other than maybe over 6 hour spread. I said maybe 10 minutes of an hour, but still it was enough to do enough damage where, I think he already has, pulmonary issues that it was doing some damage. Tamika said, she said, AC, like, why did you think about the mask? And I just had never really thought about it, with the mask. So, I think just with the breathing, they will fight that argument to death. My pulmonologist will swear that the mask does no damage, but we know, we know differently. And it's just unfortunate with what Tamika's point on the ivermectin and some of these other things that you could probably still get as part of like, if you go to like a feed store, supply feed, you can get like ivermectin or like frontline doctors, they'll write a prescription on your behalf to get that. But stuff like that you can take, and it's crazy that they just push the vaccine because and it's already started here where we have vaccinated sections and non-vaccinated sections. I kid you not. In restaurants.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Explain how that goes. Hold on. Vaccinated sections and non-vaccinated sections, like in a store or something.
Wow.
In restaurants.
AC, they're asking you when you go in if you have your vaccine card.
Well, see, that's the thing. Remember, I'm going back to my point of how restrictive New York is, and Jersey participates. You show your vaccine card. I forgot what the Global Health something pass is what it's called out here. So it's already starting with the whole, and I say at the end of the day, even I don't know what's going to happen. I've been looking at like homeschool options. I really haven't decided yet what we're going to do, but I have to fight. I have to be an activist. We were down in Trenton last week, just really trying to fight for them trying to take away our last bit of hope with the medical exemption for vaccination. So we have to do. People miss the point that this is part of a larger picture in terms of where this is, how this whole vaccine started, and I wanted to pick you guys' brain, not to take over, just getting on the call, but
no, do your thing.
If you've noticed, there has been a burgeoning crisis with this whole vaccination. So, just to set it up, I think there is an attack on folks that are unvaccinated, and what I mean by that is the vaccinated folks are clearly transferring something to, so, I'm sure you guys heard of prions, right? That's the whole biotechnological weapon. I think that's like the secret component in the vaccine, because why is it that, and not to be gross, but there are thousands of women that have been in contact with vaccinated women and their menstrual cycle, just their whole reproductive. So, this COVID vaccine is part of depopulation. So, the whole sterility. But
oh my gosh, sorry to cut you. I'm sorry to cut you guys off. Hold on 1 second, AC. I'm sorry to cut you guys off. We just got kicked off of everywhere. We're live on and if anyone watching this, if you want, we're live on urbancountryfilms.com. You just hit the live button and you see it. But we're sharing through Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. And my partner Dre,
I thought this was private.
What happened? Oh no.
Me too.
We're gonna get kicked off everything.
Because we're promoting everything you're doing, Tamika.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay, so not the Zoom link, but they need to click on a different link if they want to listen.
Right,
Oh,
right,
okay.
right. And also, like, because what I really want to do, is I definitely want to get to the point where people like us do have some kind of voice in this thing, because it seems like the walls are narrowing when it comes to things that we talk about here. And it's crazy because I feel that people